What's up guys, today we're talking about how to change your habits. If you ever thought 21 days was a long time to change habits, stick around, I'm going to show you 3 ways on how you can change your habits. Hello again my friends, so today we're talking about how to change your habits. So let's get into it. Number 1, you want to visualize the change that you want. See, how habits are created is through our brains, our neural pathways. There is a path created once we do something over and over again. So once the energy starts flowing through our brain, the energy goes down to the broader pathway that has been created. So what we need to do is we need to make a neural pathway on the habit that we want to create, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, slow it down, reverse it, and listen to it one more time. Once you begin to visualize the change that you want, what happens is you create an experience in your mind. See, our brains don't know the difference between dreams and reality and when we imagine things. So when we imagine things, our brain thinks it's real. So it starts to create an actual experience that's happening in our brain that's very real to us. So that's step number 1. You're gonna wanna visualize the change that you want and see yourself doing it. So that brings me to step number 2. Once you visualize that change, you gotta have emotional intensity. And what I mean by this is, once you put emotions behind something, your brain realizes that this is important. Once you start feeling high, intense emotions, whether it's curiosity, whether it's excitement, whether it's high energy, your brain realizes this is important and it creates an emotional response and says, wow, this is something that is very important to us. And it becomes something that is laser focused on. And then once you have a visualization happening and then you have an actual emotional response happening, your brain starts to broaden that neural pathway and starts to create it deeper and says this is something that is important to us. And that brings me to step number 3. Yeah, step number 3, physical action. This is the one step that most people take. They do not visualize, they do not take emotional intensity, they just take physical action. You gotta do all 3 steps. Once you begin to take physical action, your brain starts to realize that your body is moving towards doing something. So what happens is once you start to actually make the emotions of doing something, you create a source of identity within yourself. Because what happens is once you begin to make a change and your body is actually doing the physical change, your brain says this is what we do now. This is part of us. This is who we are. This is what we do. Once it's repeated over and over and over again, that's how a habit happens. See, habits are there to help save time. The reason why our brain stores habits is it helps us save time, it helps us be more efficient, and helps protect ourselves better. If we have habits, good habits in our lives, they serve us. But the problem is this mechanism of habits that we have as a great resource inside our brains we use against us when we create bad habits. So what you gotta do is you gotta do the 3 things repeatedly and with intensity. Number 1, you gotta visualize the change. Number 2, you gotta be emotionally intense behind that change. And number 3, you gotta take physical action. Actually move your body towards that change that you want. These 3 things will help you change your habits in a more radically transforming way. So listen, I'm not a scientist. I can't tell you the exact days of how many times this is actually going to work to start to come to fruition. All I know is by using this system, there's certain times that I've actually wanted to change a habit and I'm actually able to change it within a few days where my body's already doing it because I have enough emotional intensity, I have visualized the change, and I have taken physical action. So, if you want to create better habits, make the imprint on your mind so you can make the imprint on your life.